This was sort of like a declaration or a constitution. I promised myself I wouldn't choke up about this, but I am. Anyway. So this was written in October 13th, 1991. And it's from Alonzo. Dear Kadampa students, hope you're well and happy. Thank you for all the sincere and kind letters. The name that came out best was Kadampa Center. We could have had a really long Tibetan name. I'm just grateful he came up with Kadampa Center. Because nobody would have known what some of these names mean. But Kadampa Center is a bit more accessible. All right, so he says, the reality is cause of death, rebirth, and the rest of the problems is the mind. So practicing Dharma means generating the new thought, which is the path for the mind. This eliminates the minds, which are the cause of all the problems. That's how we can achieve, only through Dharma, the experience of liberation, free forever from suffering and its causes. Then receive enlightenment, ceasing the imprint of karma and disturbing thoughts. Then he says, looking at the outside world, on TV, radio, newspapers, always problems are trying to be solved from the outside. But it doesn't pacify the cause at all. Even if it affects the problem like medicine cures disease, it's only temporary and it arises again and again, like the poisonous root in the ground. If you cut only the stem, it grows back again and again. Therefore, you can see how important it is to spread the Dharma, and for that you need a meditation center, which means people doing listening and reflecting meditation. By having the appropriate facilities, you can see how it is the utmost need and the best service to living beings. It gives meaning to our lives by doing the Dharma service. I will pray for the complete teachings of the Dharma to spread through Kadampa Center, that it become the wish-fulfilling Dharma Center. The important thing is to do as skillfully as possible spiritual programs and guided meditations with much love and prayer, Zopa. So that was his letter, and I also got a letter one time from Lama Yeshe, and the essence of it was, it's good to be giving teachings to Americans who need it so badly. It gives them the opportunity for a meaningful life instead of a worthless, empty life, is what he said. That was Lama Yeshe's style, kind of to the point. So anyway, I'm
out of paper.
Okay, well good, I can keep going then. Okay, just a couple more points and then I'll shut up. So we can, anyway, the practice of generosity is kind of interesting because most of it don't, as soon as you hear the word generosity, what do you do? You go, it's my wallet zipped, you sort of go, wait a minute, what is this all about? But it is so important in Buddhism. It's so important. And it's not just about money, and money's only just a small part of it. But I mean, like for example, one of my daughters, she's kind of stingy, and I used to joke with her, but I wasn't really joking because this is written in the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. He said, Shantideva says, if you really have problems with generosity, then just practice, because it's a practice. It's a practice that we have to learn to develop. He said, just practice giving things from one hand to the other. Okay, that's the start. So I used to do that with one of my daughters, because it's really hard for her to give up anything. And we're still working on it. And so am I, by the way. It's a process. So anyway, so the Buddha said, he has a couple of things about generosity. He said that the donors if you give, you need to give with gladness. Before you give, you need to be glad. While you give, you need to be inspired. And then when you finish giving, you need to be gratified. You don't want to give with regret. And then he said that you have the person or the organization that's receiving the gift has responsibility too. You want to give to an organization or people who are working to eliminate their delusions, greed, ignorance, and hatred. Now, I think Kadampa Center, our overall mission is to do that, is to work on eliminating our delusions. So, but we have a responsibility as an organization to do that, but donors have a responsibility to whomever and whatever they choose to be generous to. That, you know, our responsibility as givers of whatever is that we give with gladness, inspiration, and gratitude. All right, now getting to the end here. So generosity is part of our spiritual practice. And we need to train ourselves. This is me. This is not, I'm not quoting the Buddha here for sure. But we need, my perspective is that we need to train ourselves in the practice of generosity so that when we see an opportunity to practice generosity, it's like seeing ice cream. It's like seeing ice cream. It's like, okay, great, yummy. This is an opportunity for me to practice. And when I'm talking about generosity, it's an attitude. It's a spirit. It's an open-hearted attitude. You know, it's like being generous, not just in terms of money or stroking a check for a Kadampa Center, and that's great, but it's about being willing to show kindness, to smile, generous in our forgiveness, generous in our willingness to reach out and help other beings. So the generosity is much more than money going from, you know, it's so much more than that. And then the most important thing that, you know, and I don't hear this much said as much as I did in my early days, but like the greatest gift you can give the Kadampa Center, the greatest gift you can give lamas of, Geshe Gelak, the greatest gift you can give to your family and your community is to put the teachings in practice. Let's just put the teachings in practice. Even if you don't have a dime to give to the center, the greatest gift you can give yourself, your family, community, and the center and teachers is to put the teachings in practice, because then you become a safe haven. You become somebody that people feel comfortable being around. You know, you benefit the world by just your presence. So generosity is huge, and you know, we're just very blessed to have, you know, a wonderful teacher and a great group of volunteers and a center director who's been willing to, you know, put up with all of us for a lot of years too, especially me. So I'll tell you about this later. Thank you, Don. From me? What? Oh, sure.